Hello, everyone. Very warm welcome to another exciting session for Employee Center Academy. This is part of a Live on ServiceNow events series. We are in the September month. Thank you all for joining today. It's so amazing to see some familiar faces and some new names out there. I'm Smriti Gupta, Senior Outbound Product Manager with Unified Employee Experience Team. This is the team that manages Employee Center Pro, and related conversation integrations with Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Now Mobile, and so on. Let's dive into this session. Before we go ahead, a safe harbor notice here for any of the roadmap items or information that we may be sharing during this session. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Employee Center Academy is an opportunity where we present a product deep dive on any of our product capabilities. We do these sessions every month. In the past, we have covered some pretty interesting topics such as multi-phase deployment strategies or how to improve OCM for your portal deployment, or even how to improve the design for your portal using design techniques. Or we have also covered few capabilities such as employee news, microsites, guided self-service, and so on. We share all the recordings of the past sessions on community and on YouTube. You can see the link here. We'll be sharing that on chat shortly. Some housekeeping rules for today's session. We are recording this session, and as I've just told you, the recording will be shared on community and on YouTube. SLA is typically 7 to 10 days, so please be patient while we share the recording. We will try to save some time towards the end of the session for Q&A. However, please keep your questions coming. We have a Q&A panel open where you can post your questions. You can leverage the chat panel to share any feedback or thoughts or comments. However, the panelists may not be able to monitor the chat panel for questions. So do post your questions in the Q&A panel. After the event, you'll be prompted to fill out a short survey. Your feedback and thoughts in this short survey help us improve further employee center events. So please share your valuable feedback there. The topic that we'll be covering today is company events. This is a very recent capability that we shipped with our January release this year. It requires Employee Center Pro license. So those of you who are already entitled for Employee Center Pro license, this is going to be super helpful for you. For those of you who are yet to get on Employee Center Pro, this could be an exploratory call for you. To introduce the panelists for today's session, we have a full house today. The product owner for this particular capability, Corey Lehman, is on call with us. From engineering, we have Rafa, Niyati, and Vicky, who have literally worked on this capability and who are the experts with respect to technical configurations and everything you may need to know about this particular capability. Other panelists include our outbound lead, Pooja Gupta, and Mike Scully on call, who will be supporting us with the Q&A today. In terms of agenda, we'll be going over the company events overview, both the front end and the admin experience. And we also have a demo planned. I see a few hands raised while we are presenting. We may not be able to take live questions while we are presenting, but feel free to post your questions in the Q&A panel or post your thoughts on chat. So let's start with understanding why was there a need to modernize the events communication. And when we think about how events have been managed in the past, within organizations, there are some very real challenges that almost every organization has faced. For example, events often suffer with low awareness, and invitations often get buried in emails. Or by the time employees notice that there's an upcoming event coming up, it's either too late or they have missed the session altogether. So that often leads to low turnout in the events, even for really important ones like quarterly town halls. Also, the planning has been pretty inefficient in terms of operational challenges. So admins manually track RSVPs in probably a spreadsheet or some sort of document. They send out email reminders one by one and try to juggle a lot of operational challenges or logistics without a clear visibility on who is actually going to attend this event. On top of that, predicting the attendance is tough. So if I am organizing an event. Will 50 people be interested and attend? Will 500 people join? There's no way of knowing. And without good tools, it's nearly impossible to plan properly the space and other factors for in-person events. Or it can even be challenging to manage the live streaming for virtual events. When the events are really popular, the overall systems also struggle. So let's say we have a big town hall or a all hands event by the CEO. So this might entice a few thousand people to join and log on to the portal at once, and suddenly the experience slows down or crashes. And the traffic bottlenecks could not just put your systems under pressure, but also give a very bad overall experience to your end users. Now, with company events functionality, we are trying to solve for all of these challenges. Instead of your events getting lost in inboxes, we are now trying to provide a central visibility, a kind of a single hub for all your upcoming events where you could go ahead and publish all your upcoming events. Your employees can engage with those events directly. They can share their comments, reactions, and the organizers could kind of anticipate the excitement advance of the event. And this really builds a sense of community for your organization. Then we are also, and I'm going to talk about all of these features in details, but um, from admin perspective, the operational challenges are also reduced with the company events functionality. Publishing and creating all of these events becomes much more efficient. So let's just go deeper into understanding the company events functionality. Now, what we have built is an end-to-end publishing, events publishing and employee experience. So as you can see in the screenshot, the authors can easily create and publish events. It's basically to advertise or communicate about the upcoming events to the larger audience within the organization. Events use the same powerful publishing framework as employee news or rich content. So authors can really take advantage of the rich content editor that most of you must are already habituated to. They can add their visuals, they can add text, videos, images, accordions, tables, and everything, and even enable the enablement features such as comments or reactions to kind of gauge the interest and capture the buzz around that event well in advance. So employees can see the events right alongside their news articles. And in terms of events which are super essential and critical for organization as a whole, such as town halls or all hands events, where you really anticipate a lot of traffic. We have also provided a surge events experience so that your portal performance does not get hampered. One important call out here is before we move any further, this particular capability is all about publishing and promoting your event. the actual live streaming itself still runs through third-party applications and solutions like Zoom or Teams. So think of this as a hub where employees can discover the events or engage with these upcoming events and prepare for them, while your existing event delivery continues through whatever existing platforms you may have already invested in. Now, we did release this capability back in January of this year, but with May release, we have taken the company events a step further by enhancing all of these experiences while publishing and delivering these events. The big improvement here is integration with workplace service delivery. So that means when an event is being created, organizers can not only publish the details, but also they can reserve a room or they can create a workplace reservation that takes care of all your operational challenges, such as booking extra equipments or reserving a place and things like that. And all of this directly as part of events authoring process. So you could create a separate workplace reservation and you could integrate it with your whatever event you're publishing. And those details automatically show up for employees when the event is published. We have also introduced the RSVP and waitlist feature. So event managers can set the capacity and limits. They can manage the attendance in real time. And employees who are actually they can register either for the event by marking their RSVP, whether I want to attend this event or not. If the capacity has already been reached and the waitlist has been enabled for that particular feature, I can also nominate myself to be added to the waitlist. And in case that waitlist moves, I will be notified automatically via emails. This makes it much more easier to handle demand for large events without any sort of manual tracking. Finally, we have also provided some event level analytics. So organizers can track the impressions and they can track the clicks of also other factors like how many people have RSVP'd or how many people have volunteered to attend, how many people have engaged for this event via comments and reactions. So they can track all those event level analytics as well to kind of understand how impactful their events have been so far. Now, we have some additional updates on the news page that we previously called News Center. Right. We have made it to news and events experience. So not just renaming the page as news and events, we have also renamed the widgets as news and events feed. So employees now have the flexibility to browse upcoming events either in on the homepage, on the news and events feed widget, or on the dedicated news and events page. On the news and events page, on the news and events widget that you see highlighted in the screenshot, we have also provided a calendar view. So employees can either opt to see the calendar view, so they can see select any particular date and see what event have been planned for that particular date, or they can switch back to the traditional list view as well, depending on what works best for them. We are also providing a lot more options with this newsfeed widget. So you can display both the news and events together in a single space, or you can opt to display either news or the events, depending on whatever works best for your organization. Now, many of you must be wondering, how is this new company events content type different from the existing events content type that we already had? Now, the older events content type is a very lightweight and simple option for simple events. It's great for small team activities or department level events where you just need to share the basic details like What is the title of this event? When is the date when this event is going to be scheduled? What is the location, or probably give an option for employees to add it to their calendar, right? It's super easy to set up and works well when you don't need any deeper engagement or analytics. The new company events content type, on the other hand, it's designed for large scale, high visibility events like town halls or company wide webinars or volunteer drives. It's fully integrated with the news experience, and events get broader visibility. It also brings richer features like ability to comment or post a reaction or put your RSVPs and waitlist request for attendance tracking. And the company events functionality is also optimized for traffic surges. So that means that experience remains smooth when thousands of employees hit the portal at once. And for admins, there are real-time insights and analytics to help them plan and manage events much more effectively. So in short, think of events content type as your quick, lightweight option, while company events is your go-to option for big strategic events when engagement and performance really matters. I will just take a quick pause here before we move on to the demo of the front-end experience. Corey, is there anything else we should be calling out or highlighting?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of great questions and discussions. I think one important one is just when was this released? Um, let's see. So we do one thing to note, I think that's really important is we release features within our EC Pro offering through the ServiceNow store. So from January through July, we have been iterating on events. So the latest and greatest July store release is where you'll have all the features that Smriti is demoing today and talking about today. So that would be the July 2025 store release. Otherwise, if you are only upgrading via the family release, there will be some company events capabilities in the Zurich release, and then a slight upgrade in the Australia release. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. I will just move to my demo. All right. I hope it's visible.
Yes.
When okay. When an employee comes to the Employee Center Pro homepage, the first thing that they'll notice is the familiar News Center menu item has been renamed to News and Events. That's because we have expanded what shows up in the on the News Center page. Besides just news article, we are also displaying the events. So similarly, this change has been reflected across all the news feed widgets that have been renamed to reflect this change. So instead of the news feed widget, you'll see something like latest news and events. And these are actually used to publish both the news articles and the upcoming company events. Like here, we have the upcoming AI Agent Summit event advertised that can be clicked to navigate directly to this event's detail. But for now, let's move to the news and events page. The overall experience, this looks very familiar with what we had previously. So we have the featured news and events up on top, and then the events feed widget down below. And you could go ahead and publish any of the events as featured, or you can also publish it here. And if you notice, the news and events widget also looks very familiar. So there are cards for each items showing the headline, the image, and key information related to this particular news article or event. This gives employers single consolidated place to stay informed about any of the important organizational updates or activities. You'll see two tabs up on top, one for the news and the other for events. So in case I just specifically want to see the upcoming events, I have the consolidated list here. And the widget is quite flexible in the sense that you can enable a calendar view. So employees can browse content by date, and any of the dates where the event has already been planned, it will be shown or marked as a dot that you can see. You can apply this calendar view to both events and news, or to either events or either news, whatever works best for you. Then there are also other widgets available on this page for adding additional information or items, such as we have the categories widget for displaying categories for important categories for news and events articles. Then we also have the video widget that you can use to kind of display any important company or organizational culture videos in general, or any specific news or events related video that you want to showcase up on top. Then we also have an upcoming events widget. Now, if you remember, this would be very familiar because we have seen this events content type in past. So it can display simple lightweight events that may not need a full-blown advertisement, but you can only display basic information. So I can display, or I can show basic information about this event with an option to add it to my calendar. You can see the stark difference of this events widget with the company events functionality that we have. Now, let's click to see what an event details page looks like. So here's an example of an upcoming quarterly town hall by the CEO. And employees can see the event start and end date and time, the location, and other details about the event down below. They can also RSVP directly, and they can also add it to their calendar that downloads the .ics file. So one thing most customers have asked us is, will this event details, if it gets updated, will this automatically reflect on the calendars of the end user? So no, but they can go ahead and download the .ics file if it's updated. Also for the RSVP, if I'm able to attend, I can mark my attendance as I want to attend. Otherwise, if it's full, I will see an option for wait list. So employees can go ahead and add themselves to the wait list. And the system automatically manages the email notifications if the spot opens up. So attendees and waitlisted employees are kept informed through automated emails about the waitlist movement, and everything feels very seamless without any manual tracking. And if this is supposed to be a virtual event, you can always add the event list link here in place of this location or anywhere down below. Again, reiterating my point, the streaming of live event is not handled within ServiceNow. That has to be done by third-party applications such as Zoom and Teams, and so on. Furthermore, after checking out the details, users can go ahead and add their comments and reactions. For example, I can add, "This is amazing," and post my comment here, um, react, share my excitement and enthusiasm for this event. So from an employee perspective, this really makes the news center page one centralized hub for all your important news articles and events. With that, I will move back to my slides. Let's see how this translates into the admin experience now. So like I've already briefed. We have introduced a new content type called company events. You could see that under the articles and pages segment. This is separate from the older events content type. I will show that in my demo shortly, how that is different. You can go ahead and select this company event content type and create a new event. In terms of designing and publishing, the whole flow is pretty much similar to what there has been for publishing news articles. So you can go ahead and edit or author your event via the rich content editor. For those of you who are habituated, they would know this is a easy editor for you with drag and drop options with pre-configured components and layouts that allows you to add not just text, but images, videos, um, tables, accordions, and all sorts of rich content. Once you have published, created, authored your event and published your event, the next step is how to optimize the performance in terms of events where you anticipate a high traffic, such as town halls or all hands, company all hands events. So, to optimize the overall portal performance while you are publishing company events, we have added two key capabilities to handle high traffic sessions, such as town halls. First is there's a simplified event page that loads much faster. So, what this simplified events page is, when we load the Employee Center homepage, the mega menu often takes a lot of processing time because it's in the background, it's computing the user criteria and availability options for all the content that's tagged to the mega menu. So, in case it's a high traffic event, a lot of people would be logging on to the portal. To optimize the performance, you can just in the admin configurations set a trigger, let's say beyond 100 people. Um, I want to display a simplified homepage. So that simplified homepage is it's not showing the mega menu, but it's showing only simplified menu items like a home option and a news center. So that way, the taxonomy details are abstracted away and those computations can be saved. The time for those computations can be saved. Either you can set a automatic trigger or you can also set a manual trigger. While you are publishing an event, you would see a checkbox that asks you to optimize the portal performance for this particular event because it could be a big event such as a town hall. And then automatically you get directed to the simplified page experience. The second option that we have very recently released with our July release is the smart homepage intercepts. So this guides employees straight into a live event before even the homepage widgets load. So let's say there's a town hall going on and all your traffic navigates to the homepage experience. This could really take a toll on your portal performance. So instead of directing them to the homepage, there's a modal that asks whether you want to go to the event page or you want to navigate to the homepage directly. So this gives an option to all the people who are just interested in navigating to the event, and users can continue to join the event or they can continue browsing the homepage experience, whatever works best for them. This smart modal also remembers their choice. So once the pop-up asks for this particular option, it won't ask again and again during the session unless you reload the homepage experience again. This has been provided by a new content publishing property, and we'll just see all these details via the demo. So I will just go to the demo quickly, and after the demo, pause for any questions because a demo will clarify a lot of these questions that you may have. So on the admin side, The workflow is pretty straightforward but powerful. Let's say I navigate to content publishing and I click on create new. Now, there is a new content type for company events just under the articles and pages. You would notice this is next to the news article and rich content format. So the whole publishing flow is pretty similar for all these different content types. And just to contrast here to the two different content types that we have talked about, this is the company events is the new content type that we have introduced, but previously we also had something called events under the portal menu. So for those of you who have published events previously, you would notice this is the events content type that we have previously been used to. Now, let me open for the simplicity of this demo. Let me open an existing company event that I have already created about an upcoming winter volunteer event. So I can go ahead and name my content record type, mark it as active. I can add my event information such as when the event should start, when the event should end, location about this event. In case I'm hosting a virtual event, I can add a event link or the Zoom link directly here. Otherwise, if I already have made a workplace reservation, I will see a drop down where I can select my workplace reservation and tag the location directly for this particular event. Next, I see few options that allows me to manage the operations and attendance for this particular event, such as this requires RSVP. So this option allows my end users to mark their interest in terms of I want to attend. And I can also enable attendee limit here. So I can just say, let's say I'm just looking for maximum 5 attendees for this particular event, and I want to allow wait list. So beyond 50, if people are still interested in this particular event, I want to see that wait list as well. Now I can also select by which date the RSVP must be submitted. And once people have expressed their interest, they have marked that I want to attend this particular event, I would be able to see the attendee list from directly here. Now, this is an interesting option for me that allows me to optimize the portal performance while I am publishing any high traffic events such as town halls. Let's say there's a town hall and I am publishing this event to more than 5,000 people, and a lot of people would be logging into portal on the day of event. That may lead to performance issues on the portal. So I can in anticipation of that risk, I can mark this as optimized performance for high traffic volume, and it will show me the simplified view of the mega menu and the events page. I'll just show this in some time. Now, I can also, one more thing is I can also clone this event as a reusable article. So very similar to the news article feature, you can select from the hamburger menu, clone as reusable article, and this would actually allow you to continue leveraging the same template, same branding and theming for all your recurring events. So there's no need to start from scratch every time you are publishing or authoring a recurring event. And then I can kind of add my headline, subheadline. I can add a featured image, and I can add other details of this event via the rich content editor. This is a blank canvas that allows a drag and drop of several components and pre-built templates and layouts. So once I'm done saving my event details, I can finalize the event and finally add the category. So which category this particular event belongs to, I can select that here. One important thing is content templates. So when it comes to publishing, events are tied to content templates. And these templates help you define the overall structure of the event page and also automatically generate published plans. So I'm not going to go super deep into the content templates because we have already covered it with previous functionalities. Um, so I can say even continue. And when it comes to publishing, we have the content availability option that decides for what duration this particular content will be accessible by your end users, right? So I can define that content access details. I can define the audience here. Audience selection is also pretty flexible. So while I'm creating an event and I can simply pick the audience group and the visibility will be handled accordingly. I'm sure most of you who are already working with content publishing are well versed with this functionality. So if you need to publish events for different audiences, let's say one for APAC audience, one for US audience, you can go ahead and select your audience availability as per that. Next, you can also, these are automated published plans that are generated because I had already selected a content template. I can also go ahead and add my own published plan. So it essentially decides on which portal location this particular event will be published. Let's say I want to publish it on the home page as well. So I can create a new publish plan and um, add that publish plan. So it will be published on the home page itself. Right. So this is how you can literally see the event published. Um, And I will just show this in a while. Sorry, just experiencing few issues with this instance. But let me just showcase this event that I created and published. So this is how I can go ahead and publish this particular event. On the news and events page, I just want to go ahead and show few options. The instance configuration options. We have often seen customers reach out to us trying to understand that I don't see the calendar widget on my instance. What are the steps I should be taking? So if you check the instance configuration options, you can see actually few options available for you. So you can go ahead and select the title for this particular widget. You can select the sub headline or show the thumbnail for this particular item, enable the grid or list controls. Then you need to enable the calendar widget for the calendar to be shown and the calendar indicator dot. Um, One additional option I would want to show is you can actually configure what type of article you want to display in this particular widget, whether you want to display only news articles or only company events or both events and news articles. Then what is the default calendar option, whether you want to show it or hide it. And do you want to display the calendar for both news and events or only for events? You can choose this configuration as well. And what is the default content that will be shown? So for example, if you publish a lot of news articles, you want to show news articles upfront on load, you can decide that. Or if you want to just show events on first load, you can decide that default content as well. Okay. Um, with this, I will just one more thing to show for the admin experience. This is the content publishing properties. So under content publishing, advanced, we have this content publishing properties that you can navigate. And when we look at company events, there are few key properties that control how system behaves, especially during high traffic situations. So the first one is the pre-computed audience. By default, this is turned on, and what this property does is it calculates the audience groups ahead of time. So system does not have to run heavy checks in real time, and this actually helps with performance. The next property we have is audience count threshold. So you can define what the threshold of number of users will be, after which the portal will automatically be put into performance mode. Let's say after 1,000 employees, I want the events to be put into optimized performance mode. I can set that threshold here. Then next we have the sys ID. This essentially is to point to a simplified navigation setup when a search event is encountered. Um, this is the next property is specifying the number of minutes in advance. So this is, you could consider a high performance event buffer, and this defines how far in advance the system should prepare for a high traffic event. By default, this is set to 30 minutes before the event goes live. So things are prepared well in advance before your actual big day. Next, we have the page ID where you want to display the events articles. This is an important property to look at. This is what we have delivered with our July release. So this one is the high traffic event modal. So when this is turned on, the employees landing on the homepage will see a pop-up if a high traffic event is happening. And by default, this is turned off. But you can go ahead and enable it if the admins want to display that behavior. And I have a very short demo planned after this property thing, so you'll have a better clarity on what high traffic experience or surge modal I am referring to. Finally, you also have an option to select what kind of default view or what kind of view you want to display in terms of high traffic experience. So you admins have full control on whether they want to display a standard widget view or a simplified view to reduce the strain on overall systems. Now, I will just move to the second part of a demo for the admin configuration that kind of explains how the high traffic experience or how we are optimizing for the search experiences. So here I have created a event um, already. And if you notice, this is the property that we were referring to, the optimize portal performance. So this is the checkbox that we were referring to in the optimize performance for high traffic. If I enable it, I can actually ensure that on this particular event, whenever it goes live, um, end users see a simplified version of the portal instead of the entire mega menu. So let's just see how we are doing this. So once I've created my event, I have activated the published plans and everything. Now, in the backend, there's now in the backend, there's a scheduled job that we have shipped to prepare for events or high traffic events like this. In these scheduled jobs, you'll see that content publishing property called pre-compute audiences for company events. So this one, pre-compute audiences for company events, this is the scheduled job that we have shipped with the July release. And this scheduled job normally runs once in a day towards the end of the day, like at 12, 12:30 around. You can obviously change your interval if required, whatever suits your organizational needs. For the purpose of this demo, I've just executed this scheduled job right now. And what this job actually does is it figures out exactly which users belong in the event's audience, whatever upcoming event is, and what are the audience targeting. And it stores them in a pre-computed table. So this is the table, SNCD pre-computed audiences.list, where it is showing me all the targeted audience for the event that I have just published. That way, when the user hits the homepage, the system can do a quick lookup instead of recalculating permissions on the fly. And once the user logs on to the home page, this is the search modal window that they would see. So on this, if any event is going live or happening currently, they will see this modal and they can go ahead and select if they want to continue to the events page or they want to instead go back to the home page. Let's say I want to, sorry, let's say I want to continue with the events page experience. So I can select that. So there I am loading the home page and I can select yes, go to the event. Or no, I want to go back to the Employee Center homepage. So I've selected yes, go to the event, and I am navigated to the events page. Now I can see all the event details here. If there's a link, I can see that link. And if you notice, it's a very simplified version of the events page. I don't see the rest of the navigation like help center or human resources or technology services or any other menu items. I don't see that because that taxonomy computation takes a lot of time. All I am focused on is the events page experience. And I can click on that home button and navigate back to the employee center homepage. So this is how I can go back to the Employee Center homepage if I'm just looking to browse for other content. This is the optimized experience in case of search events. Now, I will take a pause here. Corey, Rafa, is there anything we should be addressing from the Q&A or calling out again, highlighting again?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest areas that we had questions about were there were two topics. So just to reiterate, the audience targeting. So events are absolutely able to be targeted to specific groups, specific slices of the organization. They can be dynamic based on condition building and or HR criteria or user criteria. There's a lot of power in ServiceNow for targeting content, and that applies to any content type within the content publishing module if you're not familiar with it. So that was one area we got a lot of questions about. The other is around separating news and events, which I know you demoed, but just to reiterate, the events, news and events are kind of hybrid within the news feed widget, but you can absolutely drag multiple newsfeed widget instances onto a page, and you can separate them out using the widget instance options and set your defaults. You can have the calendar turned on or off. There's all kinds of different ways that you can display news and events. It's a very flexible widget so that if you want them hybrid, great. If you want them separated, that's also absolutely doable. You can even narrow to a category and show events and or news in a specific category within the newsfeed widget. So it's a very powerful widget that you can take advantage of with a lot of flexibility for how you want to lay out and display your news and events. So those were two big topics. The other one I'll mention again, we did get a couple of questions around whether this is EC Pro only, and yes, that is the case. Employee Center Pro is the license that delivers the content publishing module. So if you have an HRSD Pro or Enterprise license or an EC Pro standalone license, then you will have this capability.
Awesome. Thanks, Corey. So quickly moving on to additional guidance that we have with Employee Center. Um, like Corey has already mentioned, you require Employee Center Pro license for this particular capability. This is backward compatible with N-2 family releases. The roles that are required is content admin and content manager roles for either publishing the event. One important thing to call out here is the optimize portal performance checkbox that we were displaying during our demo. That will only be visible to content admins, not to content managers. So if you want to optimize performance for any of your events, you would need to have content admin roles to be able to use that checkbox. Or you could automatically set a threshold that decides whether the event will enter into optimized mode or not, depending on the event targeting. Now, few FAQs that people have often asked us is this company events experience can be used both for in-person and virtual events. You can mention your events link, Zoom links, whatever it is for your events. Um, Roles we have already covered. Is the event visible in the upcoming events widget? No, the upcoming events widget, like we have already demonstrated, it is different. This company events is published in the news and events widget that we have kind of enhanced. And can we include what can we include in the location field? So it's a text-based description, like I've shown in my demo. You can either include any um, text that refers to the place where the event is gonna take place, or if you want, you can integrate it with your workplace service delivery module, and it automatically fetches whatever reservations you have made for that particular event. Or you can add, in case of virtual event, you can add a link for your event. With that, we have pretty much covered what we wanted to share for this particular capability. If you're looking for additional help, we have a lot of resources on Employee Center, Community Product Hub. We have FAQs, feature demos, implementation guides, release blogs, and everything. In terms of events, please do catch us live in other events such as office hours. We have two kinds of office hours, the employee center deployment office hours. Um, the next one is scheduled 30th of September. We do this last Tuesday of a month. And we also have employee communications office hours specifically targeted for employee center pro capabilities. The next one is scheduled on 2nd of October. One very important call out is Employee Center confidential roadmap webinars. We have these next week. If you have not had a chance to register for these yet, please do register. These are live only sessions. We do not share the content or recording for roadmap webinars. So this is a very important announcement. I hope this session has been helpful. If not, if you still have some questions that we were not able to address in this session, please feel free to reach out to us at uex.product.events@servicenow.com. With that, hopefully this session was helpful. The next Academy session is going to be Portal Performance Deep Dive. So look forward to having you with us in the next session as well. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.